Welcome, everybody. Isn't this a random turn of events? Here we are. It's SPL, and I'm back. Um, I don't know. Did you miss me? I didn't make a video for the first week. We're already actually into week 3, but this is a week 2 game. Hang on a second. The window's a bit off, I just realized. Yeah, there's a piece of the thing that's been cropped out. Not a big deal. Hey, what a way to start. Anyways, how have you all been doing? Here we got conflict from the Cryonicles versus BlazingDark from the Tyrants. I should have guessed, judging from that. And BlazingDark has been doing quite well for himself in the GSC OU Masters tournament. Conflict is the winningest of all GSC players, probably, in the sense that he has won the most games in history. Yeah, should be safe to say that. There is also Fear, who's pretty much up there, but Conflict has also won 3 SPL tournaments, and I'm guessing he's looking to take a 4th. I mean, at this point, he has a pretty firm legacy, yet he has not changed the way he plays in terms of motivation. So let's have a look, shall we? We got ourselves Lax lead, pretty common. I'm gonna skip the not necessary parts. BlazingDark is gonna go for some damage with Zapdos. It's not uncommon. It's not common, but it's not unheard of to stay in with Zapdos to try and deal some damage there. BlazingDark is going to curse, but Conflict immediately goes to Skarmory, revealing a defensive stall team. Interesting pick. There's been rather a lot of stall in the past 2 weeks already. Not considered typically to be great against capable players, but that's not to say that BlazingDark is doing bad. The Curse Lax usually prompts for info, but Conflict responded immediately. He seems to be moving around quite confidently despite the threat of Gengar, and there is his trademark, I would say, Missy on stall. Not that many people use it as often anymore. It's, let's say, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So Missy, pardon me, Missy's a strong pick in some cases. It's nice for spin blocking. Oh dear, pardon the sneezing. So, what did I miss? Let's go back a bit. There we go. So, I think I was right around here. Yeah, sure. So Miss Drevis is nice because it checks Flame Lax. It can put Curse EQ Lax on a timer, even though it's not exactly a check, and Conflict decides to go for Toxic, but misses. Now, Toxic is an interesting move on Miss Drevis because it's good because in general it puts things on a timer. It's particularly strong against spinners and spike setters alike. Fori doesn't really have much of a way of handling Miss Drevis, and Miss Drevis can then harass it with any attack it chooses. Some people also choose, but it's extremely rare, Paris Song. Most often, what you're actually going to see is something along the lines of Thunderbolt or Thunder, Toxic, Thief, sometimes Psychic, sometimes, but very rarely, Pain Split, sometimes Protect, very often Rest. Sometimes there's even a Toxic T-Bolt Rest Sleep Talk set, which is meant to harass Tyranitar and annoy it if it doesn't have Crunch. So essentially the idea is to stay in. But Conflict is, despite missing the Toxic, he's set up pretty well. A Crit Thunder would have been great here, but that didn't happen. In comes the Fori, so Conflict is finally going to be able to set the spikes, which means further cement his momentum here. And we've yet to see if this Lax has indeed Flamethrower. So in comes Misdreavus. Misdreavus should be able to even handle the likes of Lovely Kiss Lax, but BlazingDark's team looks to be pretty standard so far, and Conflict probably made a good pick with the Ghost and Steel core and, you know, double steel and all that. Raikou looks pretty well set to just threaten Zapdos and not have to worry too much about Snorlax. So there isn't going to be a lot of switching from Conflict's end, granted that he can maintain spikes. So Zapdos so far not doing all that much. And we're trying to see here. It looks like BlazingDark is actually being forced into staying in with Zapdos. It's not. I wouldn't want to say that this is part of the game plan here. Even Hidden Power Water does nice chip damage. Not huge, but nice. And here we're probably going to see Snorlax from Conflict set up, which is going to force some switches. So unless BlazingDark can make a correct move here. All right, so Earthquake was a good choice. Good choice because how many times will you see a Skarmory or a flying type switch into a Snorlax? Not on a team with Zapdos and Gengar. So Earthquake is going to deal at least neutral damage, most likely going to deal super effective damage to a normal resist not named Skarmory. So that was completely called for. Good choice from Conflict and manages to chip down the Golem. So there's a very high chance that Conflict will maintain the spikes here. Also doesn't reveal if he's actually cursed or not, which is just a little bit of extra flavor, you know, just some cherry on top, haha. Because nowadays a lot of players are using Sleep Talk, Earthquake, Snorlax. So you never really know. With a player like Conflict, he could have 3 attacks, no sleep Snorlax. He could have Curse. He could have Curse, Lovely Kiss, Double Edge EQ. A lot of things. By just clicking Earthquake instead of a support move, it's hard to tell. Raikou is just going to rest up. And this is a very good thing to do. Hopefully, for Conflict, of course, no crit happening here. No. BlazingDark is just going to set up. Even if there was a crit, it's not 100% guaranteed that a crit EQ could have OHKO'd the Raikou, but now Golem's in trouble. Okay. Was a little behind on the turns there, but Golem could get chipped. Probably in BlazingDark's best interest to just switch. But now the question is, should Golem stay in? And BlazingDark is going to do that, knowing that on that turn, Conflict probably just wants to click spikes because of the presence of Gengar in the back. But on the following turn, Conflict just toxics the Golem. So now it's really on a timer. Next time it comes in, it's going to take 25%. So those spikes are looking quite strong. And so just a moment here to talk about Fori sets. Some Foris are HP Fire Toxic Rapid Spin without Boom. Some have Boom. Maybe they drop the HP Fire. And some, as in the case of Conflict, might have Spin, might not, but it has Toxic and Protect, which really annoys Snorlax even more. So Conflict is pretty safe thus far. Maybe a Toxic, a Growl. Growl's a very interesting choice. That seems pretty good even for the likes of Steelix. So that's a good choice because Steelix doesn't typically care about Misdreavus unless the Misdreavus is Thief, but we've seen that it's not. So that was a nice, very small yet innovative pick. I like that. Skarmory here. Skarmory's Toxic Whirlwind. So most likely Rest and possibly Curse or Drill Peck. Mean Look Gar. All right. Could be Perish Song. Looking to make some progress with Destiny Bond. Why did I say Perish Song? I meant to say Destiny Bond. My bad. In any case, he forces the Lax to die. And this is actually going to be more of an even match. So good on BlazingDark to hold it together, hold the fort, and essentially now Conflict has to be extra cautious. So despite being very comfortable in what we would call the early game, BlazingDark managed to maintain a 6-6 despite everything, and still does technically have maybe one chance to spin. And his Gengar is out. So that's not that bad. Not that bad. With the Lax out of the way, Zapdos could be a very tricky Pokemon to deal with. Pain Split. There we go. We see Pain Split. Toxic Growl, Pain Split. Interesting. Is there a rest? Are we going to see rest? No. Who the hell am I kidding? No rest. That's silly. So, Psychic probably, considering Conflict. Sorry, I have played GSC about once since GSCPL. Sometimes I get a little bit rusty. So there is a predicted boom. Okay. Zapdos kind of threatening to kill Fori. Conflict looking to set the spikes up as soon as possible. Probably just cutting his losses because Fori isn't too important at this point. The spikes are more important than the Fori is. That's true. So Zapdos, as you can see, is now very, very threatening. And should Raikou ever get full parried, that could spell the end for Conflict. So despite everything, what we're seeing here is that BlazingDark, even facing stronger opponents than himself, is very, very calm and collected. So not sure why he... Oh, right. He's not going to Misdreavus because the Misdreavus got burned, unfortunately. And so that's actually going to add up a lot. That's pretty interesting. Because every time Misdreavus comes in, even if it does click Pain Split, Zapdos will come in then. So Starmie spinning here is going to be very helpful. Going to give Conflict a lot more breathing room. But of course, Cloyster is alive and kicking. I mean, clams don't kick, but you know what I mean. The equivalent of what a clam would do. It's moving its protrusions. Well, that sounds really bad. But what doesn't sound bad is Cloyster getting those spikes and then missing the Toxic. So Conflict gets another bit of room here, and we do see a Thunder. Thunder isn't very common. It's most often seen from the real experts of GSC, the ones that know that Thunder is there pretty much for that chance at OHKOing Cloyster. There isn't really much else to target with that move. It's nice to have. Okay. Possibly, I'm not really sure about that, but now we have two burned Pokemon, and Skarmory's in a lot of trouble. Do I hear three? No. Spin. Gonna spin on the Lax, and this Starmie could get parried here. No, I guess if I'm Conflict now, I'm gonna... Okay. Blazing's gonna aim for that para, and I assume... Yeah, now's the time to go to Misdreavus. A Pain Split would be nice here. Sap away some HP from whatever comes in, because there's no chance in hell that Blazing's going to stay in with the Lax. It'll lose so much HP, and Misdreavus would cover it back. So no rest. That's actually going to bite Misdreavus in the ass here. Bite Conflict in the ass. So pretty interesting so far. Hope you've been able to follow, and hopefully I'll be able to enunciate correctly further on. These past couple of days have been so hard for me, speaking in English or in Italian. It's like I've lived here so long, but yeah, sometimes I don't ever speak the language. Sometimes I don't speak. All right, so Lax rests up. Misdreavus comes in. I'm dying to find out what the fourth move on Misdreavus is, because it could be the difference. It could be the missing puzzle piece. Of course, Conflict has a numbers advantage, at least for the moment. Does he go to Scarm here? Yeah, because I'm looking to rest up the Scarm. Snorlax is going to wake up, but I'm going to rest anyways if I'm Conflict. All right. No crit, so the Scarm will be alive at least for another while. Starmie takes a crit, and that's the third burn. The third burn from Flamethrower. That is insane. Absolutely. Curse. This is really scary all of a sudden. Curse, Flamelax. The unsung hero of offense versus stall. And Blazing had this specifically on the off chance that Conflict would bring stall. Not entirely off, eh? Considering that he is very proficient with it, but he is taking this to the bank. He has already defeated one powerful player in Fear in the first week, and he is looking to collect. But at the very least, Missy is alive, and Conflict is still maintaining some semblance of control. It looks like it might just boil down to the last Pokemon. Is it an Alakazam? Is it a Machamp? Is it a Heracross? There's really no telling. It could be a T-Tar, a Nidoking. All right. Nice prediction there. Probably risked it, but he is just going to maintain the HP of Skarmory. Going to try and burn off those turns. Keep it alive in case anything bad happens near the end. Because we don't know. Conflict at turn 101 looks up the burn chance of Flamethrower and probably also the PP, I guess. I don't know. But as far as this game's concerned, Blazing's blazing away, and he has 10 Flamethrowers left. With it, he'll have to somehow break through the Skarmory, or at the very least, with the threat of the Flamethrower, force something else to die and kill everything aside from the Skarmory, because if you can't succeed at killing it, you can always just kill everything else left until all that's left is a Skarmory versus a Zapdos. That's one way to break Skarmory, if you think about it. Snorlax is setting up here, but without a physical attack to damage Misdreavus, he could always go in there, and we've seen that the Missy has Toxic, so a Steel and Ground or a Ground type in general would probably be pretty strong into this team. Of course, and there is the Jinx. So not the strongest thing out there, and it's not a Thief Jinx. Perhaps Nightmare? Sub? Still doesn't entirely rule out the possibility of Nightmare. But of course, Jinx can't do too much. It's going to go for the chip because the burn damage is pretty high, and Surf is going to crit the Jinx, so there's no more chances of using Substitute here, but Starmie might recover or might click Surf. Yeah, all right. Well, at the very least, the burn means that the Starmie cannot get paralyzed, but, goes for a Surf, okay, as the Snorlax clicks Rest. This gives Conflict a bit of breathing room, some wiggle room here, and this Snorlax is definitely putting in the work. Interesting to have that Jinx in the back. I kind of like the Flamelax plus Jinx combo, I'm not going to lie. Really good. Pretty underrated. Because once you take out just a couple of threats, Jinx is actually quite a pain in the ass. So, the T-Bolt doing okay damage, I would say. HP Water. I'm guessing Conflict would have really liked HP Ice right about now, but At the very least, it deals regular amounts of damage to Jinx, um, whereas HP Ice is obviously resisted. So T-Bolt and Thunder, meaning that it can feasibly 3-hit KO the Zapdos, whereas Thunderbolt can't really do that without 3 max rolls. So Lack's going to come in, and we got 8 turns of Sleep Talk left. Okay. 15 Body Slams, 8 Flamethrowers. Curse. Good Curse turn. Missy is so low, it cannot even come in on a Flamethrower anymore. It would just die. That's such a risky play, but he has to take that risk at this point. We're too far into the game now. He's going to have to tank the hits and make correct predictions here. If I'm Blazing, I might just click Body Slam. No, he goes for Flamethrower. He's hitting what's in front of him, which I respect. He might have a couple of other chances, but with the +1 and all, 5 Flamethrowers left. But what's really scary right about now is that Body Slam is going to deal essentially double-edged damage with that +1 there. So about half to Starmie, and a crit could spell death. What's it going to do? He's going to rest up. Okay. Conflict obviously aiming for the crit, which was a good call. He's going to go back to Skarm, but in comes the Jinx. Ooh, unpredictable as ever. And the Starmie's burned, so it's actually going to deal some significant damage here to whatever comes in. And Raiku's going to have to click a Thunder, HP Water, sure, yeah. All right. He could definitely have taken an Ice Beam there, barring crit. And, okay, yeah, doesn't want to waste the Thunders. He only has 5 shots left, and he has to make those count. He has to take out the right 1 or 2 targets. Jinx, not entirely desirable since it's already pretty low. I mean, if he could take out Lax, that would be wonderful, but that's wishful thinking. So what he really would like to do is get rid of the Zapdos, probably. But, yeah, no, I guess Lax or Zapdos is fine. Either or. Of course, if something dies in front of Snorlax, then that also gives him a chance to possibly do something with his Drevis, maybe? But it's really, really rough right now. BlazingDark has this really amazing game plan. I don't know, man. If we could give out awards right now for how someone is playing, I'm quite honestly impressed by how BlazingDark is playing. That is insane. He has come to SPL to play or to work. I don't know. I feel like I weakened my statement by stating both of them if I had just chosen a lane. In any case, Jinx is down. No more harassment. All right. Zappy Bird. Are we going to see a Thunder? No. 7 minutes to go. And this is where Lax sort of shows its true colors, but we're going to see an obvious pain split here. Missy's going to come back kicking. 55% is nice, but it's not enough, I don't think, to stay in on a Thunder. Yeah. Hence the switch. And you'd be surprised how well a Zapdos and a Snorlax can do versus a Stalkor when there is one layer of spike down on their side and not on the side of the Stall team. When in the right hands. Behold, folks. All right, there's a Toxic. Toxic's going to be good at this point of the game because it's going to force Zapdos onto a timer and essentially use up what's left of its recovery PP. So BlazingDark isn't free to just click whatever he likes. He has to make it count. So I don't know if Pain Split's going to recover much HP here. Yeah, not all that much. In fact, Missy loses a little bit of HP, gets some back because of the lefties, but in Generation 2, from Generation 1 up until Generation 5 inclusive, 13%. So that's a lot. Only in like Generation 6 is it like less. or maybe Generation 7. Anyways, Conflict's losing his shit right now because he really could use some of that free DP from Sleep Talk to just summon a Thunder, but it's not coming, and he has only one Sleep Talk left, and this is the fourth burn. Fourth of 4 different targets, each of them getting burned at some point of the game, which is, I can't even. Blazing came here, and he's going to blaze. I find it fitting that a guy with Bong in his name is commenting on this game right now. Well, blaze away. Blaze away. Well, it's just a war of attrition right now. So Blazing is going to try and keep... I don't really know at this point. It's looking pretty tough for Conflict, but at the same time, Blazing is running out of options slowly. I mean, if he runs out of flamethrowers, that means Misdreavus can sort of just stall a little bit. And that makes it very hard for Blazing to actually break through Conflict's team. So this is quite the nail biter. This is really going very far. I like how high level this game is. This is very, very good. This is the kind of SPL level games I hope to see further on. I'd even go so far as to say that, judging on these 2 weeks alone, there's a second curse. We haven't seen it until now, but this second curse could actually amount to quite a lot right now, especially considering that the Skarmory is... Wait, right. I forgot. Conflict's hidden move, and that is a Growl plus Pain Split. So this is actually so meticulous. I'm loving every single bit of this game. God damn. Misdreavus with Growl? This is the pièce de résistance. This was the hidden tool. Wow, Conflict never ceases to amaze me. I'm sure that YouTuber Reverend would be very proud to see at the top of competitive play a move like Growl is being used. And the reason I say that is because he made a video about usually useless moves. You should go check that out. In the meantime, we're back here. Misdreavus switches out. Can it come back in? We don't know. There's only one flamethrower left. There are 7 body slams, 3 thunders, and a couple of marbles. Come on. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes is what both of these players must be thinking right about now. They're both 1-0. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're both 1-0. But Conflict, whereas he managed to make quick work of his opponent last week, and BlazingDark had to claw his way through, this is a game where BlazingDark is just being very, very calm and collected. I think that I'm not sure, I might not have been paying close enough attention here, but I think the Missy might be dead, and so might also be the Zapdos. Finally, huh? At 12%, meaning that next time it comes in, it might take poison damage, unless, of course, this lacks. No, unless nothing. I don't know. This is anybody's game to lose here. Although I'm going to give the edge to Conflict. I could be wrong, but this Stormy looking pretty strong. There's no telling right now. Actually, you know what? No, it's do or die right about now. Conflict has to take out the Snorlax, hope for a full para on the next turn. Or something. He has to. He needs a full para. Or he needs to survive. He needs a full para. This is it. Right. Okay, sure. I guess. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait. The flamethrowers are gone. All right, that gives him another shot. Does he have Curse last? There are about 2 body slams. Conflict has got this. That's it. I'm pretty much convinced at this point that Conflict has won. Jesus. What a game. Wow. And it was all PP management. I hope that my commentary has helped to make this easier to follow with the whirlwind and HP fire Skarmory. Okay. That means that this Snorlax has run out of PP. It's no longer able to fight. Zapdos dies, and there aren't even any curses on the Snorlax at this point. So it simply means that Snorlax is going to struggle, but it can't break the Skarmory. And so, in a incredibly valiant effort, BlazingDark tries to bring it home, but eventually concedes, knowing that there isn't much left he can do. Wow. This, I hope this makes GSC great again. I had no idea of the outcome of this fight. I didn't pay attention to the games of week 2. This was crazy. This was absolutely insane. Again, if I could give an award, I would give a Fighting Spirit Award to BlazingDark for back-to-back 2 incredible games. Of course, I suppose that if this is a sign of anything, maybe I should even go back to commentate on the week 1 game between him and Fear, even though I spoiled the outcome. And if that's something you like, please let me know in the comments. I don't want to say no promises, but I'm not going to necessarily upload week to week. So we'll see what we can do. I have to juggle between so many jobs. But even if I'm not on schedule, I just wanted to give a little bit of just something to look at. So hope you guys all enjoyed, and peace.